Speed. Ever since the original Sonic the Hedgehog came out in 1991, Sonic games have always been about one thing: blisteringly fast speed. This design philosophy of putting the emphasis on speed over all else has been a bit of a double-edged sword for the Sonic franchise for a long time now. For some gamers, the most hardcore of Sonic fans, nothing compares to the rush of blazing through a level, bouncing from enemy to enemy, hitting all of the boosts, hearing the satisfying chimes of collected rings, and nabbing that S rank at the end of the level. But on the other hand, the need for speed in many ways is a cause for most of the problems that plague the 3D Sonic games. In order to allow for such speeds, the controls for Sonic must be very loose, which creates some problems when precision platforming is required. Plus, those without lightning-fast reflexes will often find themselves just running into obstacles or enemies and bringing the blue blur to a buzz-killing stop every couple of seconds. But what if Sonic games didn't revolve around speed? What if speed took a back seat and let the combat and exploration take the driver's seat in Shotgun? Sonic Boom looks to answer this question. Sonic Boom at its core is a cooperative-based action-adventure for the Wii U that serves as a prequel to the upcoming cartoon series of the same name. Up to 2 players can play at a time throughout Sonic Boom's campaign, controlling Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, or Amy, with each character offering up their own unique skills and abilities. During co-op play, one player plays entirely on the Wii U's tablet screen while the other uses the TV, allowing for both players to move independently of one another while still having an entire screen to work with. While the demo I played was without co-op, it's easy to see how a second player fits into the mold while playing through the campaign. Certain areas of a level are only accessible to specific characters. For example, only Sonic can spin dash up to a high platform that's out of reach of other characters. Only Knuckles can scale specific walls. And Amy is the only character with a triple jump, which can help her traverse long distances. As you might expect, there will usually be something on one character's unique path that allows the second player to progress, so that they can activate something that opens up a new part to the first player's unique path, and so on until the 2 players reunite. It's all fairly standard co-op fare, but it seems to be executed quite well here, especially with the addition of the Wii U's tablet, which allows players to have that couch co-op dynamic of both being in the same room without being forced to share the same screen. In addition to solving environmental and co-op based puzzles, combat plays a large role in Sonic Boom's gameplay. Each character has his and her own fighting style, with Sonic mixing up his punches and kicks with homing attacks, Knuckles being a pure brawler, and Amy using her trusty hammer. In case you haven't noticed, Tails wasn't available in any of my demo levels. Combat can look pretty flashy, but it's pretty simple and honestly a bit button mashy. To mix things up, you also have an energy whip that will enable you to grab and throw enemies or rip the shields off of otherwise impervious robots. You'll also notice that during these combat and platforming portions of the game, no one is moving very fast. Everything controls like a much more traditional platformer along the lines of a Jak and Daxter. Sonic doesn't even do a spin jump. However, don't worry, as I said, speed has only taken a back seat. It hasn't been left behind. There will still be some levels that will bring back memories of recent Sonic games like Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, where the levels switch between the modern and classic Sonic perspectives and are all about the speed. As far as the story goes, not much was revealed to me outside the fact that there are no Chaos Emeralds this time around. Instead, the story revolves around the rise of an ancient villain known as Lyric. As you might expect, whenever there's a new villain in town, Eggman isn't too far behind trying to make friends to destroy their common enemy. More interesting though is the dynamic between the main characters. Since this is the prequel to the Sonic Boom TV series, the team isn't exactly a cohesive unit yet. Characters bicker back and forth during gameplay, much like you'd expect from a game like Uncharted, and it will be interesting to see how Sonic Boom will handle the development of characters who up to this point haven't really shown much depth. Sonic Boom is an interesting experiment, and perhaps one that the Sonic series has been due for. Personally, I'm excited to see how it turns out, but also very curious as to how the hardcore Sonic fanbase will receive such a drastic departure from what has made the series famous. Keep an eye out for Sonic Boom on the Wii U, tentatively set for November 2014 release. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.